industry has been able to glamorize this.
Having so many steps.
They literally make products.
The 10-step
skincare routine. There you go. They literally
makeup. You have to prep, prime,
like pamper, like highlight, contour, bronze, eyebrows, eyelashes, eyeshadow, like sets, bake.
That's
the beauty industry has like almost made more
money
off of this process. Yes, off of the process. And then in terms of hair, now we don't want a process, or we want it to be easy. Bad.
Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's your girl Rochelle,
Jada,
and Tosin, and you're watching
Beauty,
Braids,
and Beyond. Okay, so today we're doing something different. We're gonna be having a little bit of a reaction to a video dedicated to the Black community. This video was filmed by Toronto-based director Alicia K Harris. Big up yourself, because she's accomplishing such big things at such a young age and really representing for our community. We're going to be watching this video. It's by LUSH. She directed it for LUSH, called Naturally, which explores the lives of 3 different women, I believe, and their hair journey. And so, as you know, hair is a very controversial topic, not only within the Black community but across the world. And you know what, we're just so excited to have even come across her work, because it resonates with us deeply. The fact that, you know, she's really representing for the underrepresented and really trying to showcase and highlight Black beauty, and, you know, getting us to embrace our hair is, you know what our mission is. It's to break the barriers of beauty, and she's
BB on your head top.
And she's literally doing just that. And so we just kind of wanted to, you know, watch this video, see, you know, the different themes present in this video, and see how we relate, and you know, how you guys can relate as well. We definitely would recommend you go watch it. We read the synopsis, so we have like an idea of what it's about, but we haven't actually watched it. So
because we want to give an authentic reaction. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's watch the video.
Let's get into it.
All right.
When I look at my hair, I see the patterns that exist on my mother's side and my father's side. It reminds me of my ancestors and how they took care of their hair. There's so much energy and power in hair. That's why we were told to cut it. That's why we were told to change it. My mom started perming my hair when I was 3 years old, actually.
I thought that too.
Really?
Hair.
I don't know how old I was, but like I've been perming my hair since young, and like at first it was fine, but then I think when I started going through puberty and like there was so much hormonal changes, that's when it started to like not cooperate with me.
Why do you guys think, like, at that time, obviously when this woman was 3 years old, it was way back when, but why do you think it was that her mother was perming her hair at that young of an age? Like, what was the purpose?
I think it was like a little bit of subconscious conditioning, because her mother's obviously seen how society reacts to natural hair at a young age, so she's like, okay, from young, like, let me, like, you know, not let people think I'm not taking care of my child, because it's like if you saw at that time, if you saw hair looking a certain way, you probably thought it was unkept or whatever, when it was not.
It took a massive unlearning to dismantle that. In different places in the world, there were actually laws that Black people couldn't wear their natural hair.
I think that's so crazy. I didn't know that there were laws that you couldn't keep your natural hair out.
I think it was a lot like prevalent in the Jim Crow era, especially like when Black people were
it was a political movement. Like, she said that, you know, it took a lot of unlearning for her to get through all of that, and I just feel like within the Black community as a whole, we kind of all, I think, have begun this journey of unlearning. Collectively of unlearning.
And not just hair, like not just beauty standards, but things that like we've been like suppressing for so long, or have been like, you know, or tolerating. We've learned like this is actually not okay. This is not how society should function in regards to how Black people are treated within society.
Yeah.
When you change someone's hair, you tell them that the way that they inherently are is not good enough. I've been natural for about 3 or 4 years now. I never ever touched a relaxer ever again.
Oh, the dog cats.
Flashback.
Oh, yeah. Now they lean back for mama.
You said flashbacks. Whoever got the head chop. If you're pulling your hair, your mom just chop you.
What? I remember this day vividly. So my dad actually Chinese bumped my hair on different occasions. Yes.
Really? Shout out
Shout out to my dad.
Oh my god.
And so he was Chinese bumping my hair one day, and I was like, "Are you done yet? Like, are you the man went?"
Adopted by a white family, so my mother did learn to cornrow my hair, but we didn't do it very often. So a lot of times I had really low hair. Really, I felt like I embraced my hair when I got to university. I actually decided to grow locks, and that was empowering. I was really coming into my own as a Black woman. I grew them for 10 years, and I love them. Unfortunately, they were taken away from me. I was actually assaulted, so they were physically ripped out of my head. And then I developed alopecia, so then the rest of my hair started just dropping out. It was such a big part of me that was just gone, and it wasn't my choice. It was a really difficult time. But I had girls, so I had to sort of measure that and balance that. How am I going to respond? I'm regrowing my locks again, sort of to set that example that I do love my hair and I love myself.
How do you think locks are viewed in society?
I feel like we've come a long way. I definitely think, be it like 10 years ago, that people used to view locks as dirty, like, you know, you didn't wash your hair if you had locks in it.
Affiliated with the Zionist or
Rastafarian movement. Yeah, compared to now.
Smoke or something.
You smoke. Such an attachment, like an unnecessary attachment to hair and identity. Like, yes, obviously your hair is part of your identity, but just because you like a certain style, because it's a style.
Say identity, but how you're perceived by others in a sense, or like your capability to function within society.
I feel like in a situation like that, though, it's really tricky because obviously there are so many different scenarios where, you know, even as a Black woman, I'm scared to go into an interview with my hair looking a certain type of way because will that impact my ability to get the job? Like, I want to really put my not necessarily best foot forward, but I guess most acceptable foot forward in what, you know, the people who would be hiring me would, you know, I guess take to me more. And I shouldn't have to do that. Yeah. But I genuinely feel like it's just the reality.
It's also problematic because at the end of the day, you're still not being like your authentic self. It's easy for like people that are, I guess, in a sense of privilege to be their authentic self. They don't have to be extra bubbly. They don't have to be extra kind. They don't have to think too much about their appearance. When you're like a Black person, you're like, okay, like, let me wear this shirt. Like, does this make my body look a certain way? Does this make my hair look like a certain way?
And we have to even talk about the mental health behind having that, because it's almost like you have to have like a dual personality or like a, do you know what I mean? Like when you persona. Or you have to like, right? Yeah. And that comes with a lot of like mental health, like kind of baggage, because
it's like literal code switching. Like when you're around certain people, your personality shifts, your tone shifts, the conversation shifts.
Like it's crazy and it's unfortunate.
It's a gift, but it's also unfortunate that we have
to do that. Yeah. Especially with our hair. Like I feel like so many Black women identify with having to, you know, switch up their hair, especially like it's one different to switch up your personality and stuff, but I think like a lot of it really comes down to the hair.
Yeah. So I think there is a responsibility on us as a community to try to just, you know, take little steps to be our authentic selves. wherever we are in the workplace, academic space, social groups.
Yeah. Like, I really also want to commend Issa Rae.
I love Issa Rae.
For really stepping into this industry, and Lupita for stepping into these industries, going to these big, fancy red carpet events.
Dark-skinned women and denying gray. Yeah.
Like, such inspiration. Like, they literally...
Dark-skinned black
women. I feel we're at the beginning of a movement for, you know, women
and
of
also,
color
like,
embracing...
representation matters, because, like, the little kids that are watching Black Panther and that might see, like, Issa Rae on TV, or, like, wow, like, someone that does look like me, or and even Chloe and Halle. These are two girls that are breaking the... For locks. Yeah. That's crazy. And for little girls to see that and be like, wow, like, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Navigating the world as masculine presenting with locks, I feel like that there's a whole other stigma, just like in general, like being a black man in the world. As I felt like more comfortable when I started to medically transition, I felt more comfortable experimenting with my hair. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I locked my hair. Since I have like 4C hair, I would be like, oh, why do I have this hair texture? Why couldn't it not be like more manageable and easy? But I feel like as the years gone on, I like burn a candle, I play music, I like massage my scalp.
I think something that has been ingrained into, like, at this point, our DNA, to think that our hair is such a problem,
or that it's hard to manage.
Exactly. Like,
I think it's because there's such a process to it that it's like, I don't want to.
Yeah. But you know what's so funny?
There's a
process to everything, and it's funny because the more you run away from it, it's almost like the harder it's gonna get. Right? Yeah. Like, what about the process of wearing makeup? Makeup's a process.
Yeah. Tosin knows a lot about process of putting on makeup. Well, how long is that process?
Propaganda. Fake news. I don't know what they're talking about.
No, but you know what is fun? Makeup and skincare is a process, and the beauty industry has been able to glamorize this.
Having so many steps.
They literally make products.
Koreans have what, their 12 step,
the 10-step
skincare routine.
There you go. They literally
makeup. You have to prime.
Like hair, like highlight, contour, bronze, eyebrows, eyelashes, eyeshadow, like
that's big.
That's very true. I didn't think of it like that.
Like, literally, the beauty industry has like almost made more
money
off of this process.
Yes, after the process. And then in terms of hair, now we don't want a process, or we want it to be easy. Bad.
Why do we like just put such a negative emphasis on the process of maintaining 4C hair or 4A, 4B, 3B?
Not necessarily that we put a negative aspect. I think the reason why there is that, like, feeling of burden.
You don't think it's negative though? I literally
I do feel it's negative, but I feel like it stems from somewhere, and the fact that I think is because of lack of education.
Yes, on how to
like counterparts that do have straight silky hair, like, they've had all the resources on how to take care of their hair. They've had salons that were built with them in mind on how to take care of their hair. When they go in Walmart, the hair salon, the hair aisle has all their products, so they already know what to do. Whereas black hair is the most versatile, and there's not really a guide on how to take care of it. Yes, there's salons, but like even at
research or the money and the resources have not been dedicated to us to find out or to research or to have the academia to know
that education. That's where the kind of negative relationship stems from, because you don't really know what to do with your hair.
Okay, so you see how like the process of, like, I'm going to tie this back to what Orion said about, how he thought, taking care of your 4C hair was such a process, but then, like, he learned to enjoy that process. I'm going to tie it back to that. But we put on makeup, we start getting ready, we get our playlist going, have our candles burning, and we're enjoying the process because we know what it's going to look like in the end. Same thing with skincare. We enjoy that process. It's time for us to unwind, get ready for bed, feel fresh and self-care. But, like, everyone, I genuinely feel in the Black community who look at, maintaining or taking care of type 4, even type 3 hair as being a negative process, just really need to switch that narrative or shift that narrative into thinking like and enjoying the process. You know, find something you like to do. Like I'll be there watching my little show.
Netflix. Take that time to watch. To catch up on Netflix. Take that time to listen to your favorite podcast.
I feel like our community really just needs to embrace our hair and love it the same way you love your skin.
Doing a good job of embracing it. It's just like with anything, processes take time.
It takes time. Don't expect the results overnight. It's like enjoy the process and trust the process.
Ultimately, I don't tell my hair how to coil. That's something that it just does by itself.
It's a
relationship that I have. You have to nourish it, and you have to be intentional and loving. So now I feel like my wash days are a lot more meditative. It's a very personal process that certainly has grown to be a spiritual practice too.
Because my hair experience was so traumatic when I was growing up, I was very determined that they wouldn't have that experience. Because when I was little, I wanted long, blonde, like flowy hair. So now seeing them, I love that they are proud of themselves, that they're proud of who they are as Black girls.
I learned that I have to put stuff in my hair to keep it growing. And stuff about my hair so it's not tangled and so it get moistured.
Okay, so like my nieces, they have their hair texturized. So they have like really thick hair, like really, really thick hair. In an effort to maintain that, their mom had texturized their hair. And so like now like they're growing and it's crazy. We literally just had this conversation like 2 days ago. I was like, I think you guys need to stop texturizing your hair and just embrace its natural texture and work with it and maintain it. And then my brother was like, but it's too thick to maintain. And I'm like, yeah, maybe so, but there's so many different things they can do with it. And the more they take care of it, the easier it'll become for them to maintain it. Like they're going to have to learn to take care of the hair in its natural texture because our hair's not meant to undergo these chemical processes.
First, can I say, the chemicals that are in texturizers and perms, and even like, you know, coloring, like obviously they have been approved, but again, it's still chemicals. Like, and your scalp are follicles, right? Like your skin, it's the biggest organ on your body, and it absorbs what you put on it, right? So there is that to keep in mind. Like your brother said that, you know, it's too thick to maintain. But, like, what does that even mean?
This is what I was saying. I'm like, you guys need to shift the way you think about your hair. So that's what I was saying. I was like, guys, like, you know, it's a beautiful process taking care of your hair. And he was like, but you wear wigs all the time. I'm like, but I still take care of my natural hair under this often. And I used to think my hair isn't, like, super thick. But, like, it's still a lot of hair that in my head, was like, it's too much to maintain. And, like, I genuinely, over the past year and a half, especially now that we've been in quarantine, like, sitting down, taking the time to understand my hair, what makes it work. I genuinely love taking care of it. Like I love seeing the results above anything else. It's like, you know, when you start going to the gym, you start seeing results and you keep going. It's like taking care of your hair. Like you start seeing the results, like when you're really paying attention to it and taking the time. And it's just like, I'm just watching this video right now and seeing the way this woman is like teaching her kids from a young age to just love that natural texture. I think it's just so important to instill that in like young women.
Hearing them say that, it actually makes me kind of emotional because it's been such a journey. Black hair to me is love, and passing that on to my girls is really important.
In one word, describe what black hair is to you.
Black hair is dynamic.
My word is unique.
Mine is identity.
Okay.
I do have to say, shout out to LUSH for, you know, supporting a campaign like this. Shout out to, you know, the brands that, you know, maybe at first didn't get it right, but again,
they're taking the progressive steps.
They're taking the steps. You know, I know that we do have to hold brands accountable, but also let people grow and let brands grow as well, right? Because no one is perfect, and you know, brands and people do make mistakes, but if they are showing efforts to correct those mistakes or move forward, I think we should
That's what's important.
embrace that as a community too. So I just want to say that.
And shout out to Chloe, Orion, and Judith for being a part of this incredible film, again directed by Alicia. You're amazing as well for even, you know, capturing their stories, which resonated so deeply with us and probably so many other Black women and men. And it's incredible to see like how far, like you hear in their stories how far they've come with their natural hair journey.
And being vulnerable in front of a camera, like that's not easy, you know, to tell your story like that. So
yeah, definitely.
I encourage everybody watching this video to really go and watch this short film, I should say, for themselves, because it's so important. I'm just happy to have watched this. I'm happy that it's out there for people to see, because like I identify with this so much and it's just so powerful.
I think it was really well done. It was really needed. It's a conversation that's worth having.
No,
it's
it is
positive conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you to Alicia.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Alicia.
you, like, you know, for, you know, allowing us to speak about this and have this conversation. Peace, love, and blessings to all of our viewers.
I hope you really enjoyed watching our video, and if you did, make sure to like,
comment,
and subscribe, and share.
Yeah, and tell us, you know, we really want to see your comments about your natural journey, what that has been like for you, and if you watch the short film, let us know.
It's a wrap. See you in the next video.